In 1929, a German theologian was cataloging old manuscripts in Istanbul. He found something strange in a dusty drawer, a map drawn on gazelle skin. It showed Europe, Africa, and South America, but it also showed something else, a landmass at the bottom of the world, covered in mountains, with rivers, with a coastline that looked unmistakably like Antarctica. The map was dated 1513. That's 300 years before Antarctica was discovered. Welcome to Arcane Past. The map was created by an Ottoman admiral named Piri Reis. He was a pirate, a sailor, a cartographer. He loved maps. He collected them from all over the world. In 1513, he combined dozens of sources to create one massive map. He wrote notes on it. He listed where each piece of information came from. Some of his sources were Greek, some were Arab, some were Portuguese, and some, he said, were ancient. He wrote that he used maps from the time of Alexander the Great, maps that were already lost in his time, maps that no longer exist. When the Piri Reis map was discovered in 1929, nobody paid much attention, just another old map. Then a cartographer named Arlington Mallory took a closer look. He noticed something strange. The coastline of South America was perfect, accurate. In 1513, most cartographers drew South America as a blob. Piri Reis drew it with precise curves and inlets. But that wasn't the strangest part. At the bottom of the map, there was a piece of land that didn't match anything known in 1513. Mallory compared it to modern maps. It matched Antarctica, but not the Antarctica we know today. It matched Antarctica without ice. The coastline showed rivers, valleys, mountains, all of which are now buried under 2 kilometers of ice. That means the original source map, the ancient map Piri Reis copied from, must have been made before the ice covered Antarctica. When was that? At least 6,000 years ago? Maybe more. Some geologists believe Antarctica was last ice-free around 4000 BC. Others say it's been frozen for millions of years, but the Piri Reis map shows rivers. Rivers can't flow under ice, so either the ancient map makers had some way to see through ice, or they made their maps before the ice existed. Either option challenges everything we know. Mallory presented his findings in 1953. He was ridiculed. Scientists said it was a coincidence that the coastline just happened to look like Antarctica, but then more evidence appeared. In 1956, a geologist named Harold Z. Ohlmeyer looked at the map. He compared it to modern seismic surveys of Antarctica. He confirmed the coastline matched. He said it was almost unbelievable, but he didn't say impossible. Here's where it gets stranger. Piri Reis wasn't the only one who knew about Antarctica. In the 1500s, other cartographers drew similar maps. The Orontius Phineus map of 1531, the Mercator map of 1569. They all showed a large southern continent before anyone had seen it, and they all showed rivers and mountains. How? One theory, they copied from the same ancient sources that have since been lost. Another theory, there was an advanced civilization before recorded history, a civilization that mapped the world, that sailed to Antarctica, that knew the Earth's geography better than we gave them credit for. That's a theory that most archaeologists refuse to accept, but the map is still there. The questions are still unanswered. Piri Reis himself wrote a note on the map. He said, "These maps were drawn by the ancients who knew the shape of the world." He didn't explain further. He didn't say who they were. Maybe he didn't know. Today, the Piri Reis map sits in a museum in Istanbul. A piece of the puzzle we still can't solve. It's one of the oldest surviving maps in the world. and it contains information that shouldn't exist. A coastline that wasn't known in 1513, a continent that was hidden under ice, a mystery that's still waiting for an answer,